Hello and welcome to the Space Between Ideas. I'm Blaine Gates. It is day number 36. Now, it's like 11 o'clock at night. It was a crazy busy day, and I've just been adding some. Well, this is Ali's to-do list. So I just added a couple of more people to this page because, I'm trying to go through all of my previous customer files, and I'm starting to really focus on who needed what and who was asking for what, and what kind of managers were these people. And so this at this point, of the challenge, it's like, yeah, I don't actually have something specific I want to talk about because I need to actually do this before I'm able to really get to the next level of things I want to talk about. And I can't, I'm just like, it's so late at night and I can't even push myself to do this without falling asleep. So that's a question. Okay, so what do I do? Like, what do you do when you're just exhausted and it's like you're doing a challenge and you just have to go to work, you have to make a video. So what would I do? So these are some people who I'm doing. So I would, if I was working with a student, then I would go to their project files. So this is like for the challenge. I put all my project files here, and then I would go to this week, next week to find out what they're doing. And then I would go to the to-do list. So the whole idea of the to-do list is to broaden perspectives, because you want to get those. If you don't know what you're doing, so the whole purpose, right? So what is the overall process of the course? Use the checklists as brainstorm. Use the checklist. Use the checklists as brainstorming tools with a coach. As a coach. Break down the checklist into one-pagers. All right, so we're talking about, like, okay, what is this course all about? Well, this course, it's actually to help you use two checklists. As brainstorming tools as a coach in order to add things to the this week / next week file. Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you're looking for you need actionable items. And so you have to make decisions and create actionable items. That's what I want people to do. So, which means, and so then you have two levels, right? So you have the checklist level, and then, which is the framework of themes and typical activities. So that's from Tom's book. And then I break down, and then you have the one-pager level, which breaks down the checklists into one-pagers in order to carry out coaching sessions and give people something to work on. and think about. Yeah, so then example level, examples. So these are examples from previous, I would say, students. To what? To dramatize the process that they will carry out. And then, what do you mean create activities? And then what? And then give a process so that managers are able to coach others. All right, so why do we have use two checklists as okay, what is the overall process of the course? Use two checklists as brainstorming tools as a coach in order to add things to this week, next week file. Yeah. So show a process so that managers can coach people using two checklists as brainstorming tools. In order to add things to the this week, next week file so they can, what's the outcome? Make decisions and create actionable items. Now there's going to be a checklist level where the framework, the themes, and typical activities one-pager level, and then there's going to be examples. Yeah. All right. That's the overall process of the course. So I have to make sure we have all the documentation. All right, so what are the different... All right, so how much am I teaching the actual checklist level? All right, that's fine, because Tom already created the checklists. So I have to make sure I have all the checklists, the one-pagers ready. And then I have to have all the examples ready. Yeah, there you go. All right, so there we go. So now I've just basically I just wanted to, I'm like half asleep, so I was like trying to fill this time because this is a challenge and I have to do the challenge. So I'm just getting it done. And all right, so now what we have is one-pager level examples. So the overall objective is to show a process so that managers, let's call it an objective. Maybe that will be objective, the objective is to show a process that managers can follow to coach people using two checklists as brainstorming tools. All right, so then that means that it's called brainstorming. That's the main issue. The objective is to use brainstorming tools. Coach people using brainstorming tools. Yes. All right. And there's going to be a process for that. Okay, so show people the process that they need so they can coach people using brainstorming tools. Now, the brainstorming tools are in order to, they want to add things. All right, and then what are the things? The things are decisions and actionable items. And what's the process? There's going to be a checklist level process. There's going to be one pager level process. Maybe we'll just use the word process. Then there's the one pager level process. And then there's the dramatized process. Examples from previous students. Yeah. So this is what I do with people. I just, I show them checklists and then I facilitate a process. And so I want other people to be able to facilitate this process. That's it. Help people facilitate a process so that as a coach, show a process, coach people using tools, and then add things to this file. And those things will be decisions and actionable items. And there's the broad checklist level, there's the one pager level, and then there will be some examples. Now I need to make sure I have all the examples. All right, so what's this? I'm going through all of these examples for what reason? Because I'm trying to get examples where I can. So why am I doing the what do you want file? All right, so let's go back to this week, next week. So what am I doing? What is that word? I'm summarizing all case studies. I'm finding the purpose. People find the reason for which people hire me, and then specifically which case studies can be good examples of department level processes for to decision level. Yeah, and that's going to filter. That's going to filter back into, and then develop. What are these called? Dramatize the process. Dramatized processes with these case studies. Yeah, because the issue is like, you see, when I work with students, the thing is that I don't have enough, I don't have enough case studies for this specific checklist. And I've been using other checklists much more often. And so somehow I have to develop some examples. I have to find relevant examples. I have to find why are these people talking to me and which one of these examples are going to be useful for this specific checklist. Because, you know, I haven't actually even developed a real process for going through this checklist. I always avoided this checklist, actually, and probably because it's one of my weaknesses. And now, you know, I've kind of like had this like heart-to-heart with my audience, with you guys, where I was like, hey, wait a minute, actually, I'm here. I'm actually still at the point of delivering results. And, you know, I mean, yeah, of course I'm making decisions at the same time, but I haven't actually had to make any like really big, huge, you know, I'm not sure what to do decisions where it's A, B, you know. So I could just do this quickly, is that I'm starting this process. I'm starting a new process. So the blue is actually working toward a goal. And so I'm starting to work toward a new process. And I'm in this meander while doing phase. Now, the thing is that you know, this is kind of, I'm more like this. I'm more like blindfolded and running into trees and falling into holes. And the state assumptions checklist, this section here, assumptions and impact, it requires a person to be more like A/B testing in order to develop some processes. All right. So this is really the question for me. What can be done with nil, so that's this one up here, and haphazard here, in order to improve processes? How do you drip, like give them better processes? And that's what I meant by like, I'm here right now, is that I need to be developing better processes. And when we talk about like these items on my to-do list, like these are things that where I'm trying to develop processes. So this is what I'm doing. Like, and I was just falling asleep. It's like Friday at like midnight. And I'm actually going through the checklists right now in order to do what? Yeah, so this is like the same. Both of these are the same. This section and this section. Weird. All right. So it'll be interesting when I start moving to this section, and when I start thinking about, all right, so now do we need to think about sales and marketing? So what are we doing right now? We're in the product development stage. Well, actually, we're still not in the product development stage. We're still gathering this data and trying to get some insight. Anyways, I don't ever want to make a video more than 20 minutes. So let's just take a quick peek. We got 30 seconds. Involve metadata types, concepts, sources. Yeah, so I'm going back into my sources and I'm using keywords and like, what am I looking for? I'm amassing data right now. So in order to create knowledge. Interesting stuff. All right, well, this has been a very strange example of space between ideas, where this is the space and these are my ideas.